Hello, strangers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I've been a little busy, but I'm back. And my husband sent me some Reddit stories, and I think we should read them together. Today I'm wearing my glasses because I can't see anything. I'm blind, so I want to be able to see and read without hurting my brain. Am I the a-hole for planning international travel without my children? So here's the reality. I have two kids. They are now 14 and 16. I've had 50-50 since I got divorced up until a few months ago. 4 years ago, my ex-wife got remarried and her husband advised her to start a custody dispute. Oh, that had to be fun. I spent $165,000, basically my life savings, fighting for 4 years. For the record, my ex-wife's father is wealthy and paid all her legal fees. This comes into play later. The older child told the court-appointed therapist, "I want to live with my mom and only see dad every other weekend." The younger one said they just wanted to do 50-50. The younger one didn't change their mind and said, "Oh, maybe 70-30 with mom. I just want court stuff to be over." Oh, those poor kids. Oh my gosh. I went to trial. My attorney fought like hell, but the judge said, given the children's age, their preference will take precedence and we won't split them up. As it breaks their sibling bond. I think you meant breaks. I have to sit back now because Lady is here. And if I skip forward, she will fall, and that is cruel and unusual punishment. My wife and I have been planning some travel with her friends, her sister, and their husbands. It includes 9 days in Spain and France. Ooh, fun. They picked the dates. We got the tickets. The kids found out about it and have been asking me, "We want to go. Why can't we go?" I told my children, this is something we planned, we saved for. They asked if it was an adults-only trip. I told them it was not, and their 15-year-old cousin was coming. They said it was not fair we couldn't take them as they know we can afford it, and that would be their only chance to travel internationally. I told them, you're young adults now. You chose to spend the majority of your time with your mother, and you got what you wanted. But choices have consequences. One of them is that you don't get to join me on things like this. No. Just because you like my ex more than me, you're no longer my child. They're both very upset. My younger one said, you're just mad we have more fun at mom's house. I'm afraid I'm being an asshole here. I'm happy to be wrong, but my gut is telling me what I'm doing is fair. You were on the right track. You're totally allowed to have a vacation without your children, but you don't have a valid reason to not be taking your children on this trip right now. Your ex-wife is such an a-hole. Like, she sucks so bad for dragging her kids into this. If they were happy 50-50, if you guys, there wasn't any other problems, which we don't know because we don't have any more info, then she sucks so bad. But you suck even more to say you made the wrong choice when it came to your parents. Do you know how hard it is to put your kids through that situation to choose a parent? Your ex-wife sucks for putting them in that position, and you suck even worse for making them feel bad about it when they didn't have a choice. Well, they didn't have a choice not to choose, which is probably a valid reason that they didn't choose you based on this. You're the a-hole. You made it about their choice rather than their unavailability. You could have simply said, your mother has court-ordered custody over you during the days of the trip. I can't change that. Instead, you went to the blame route. That's pretty a-hole-ish. Don't blame your children for the difficult position you and your ex-wife placed them in. They didn't choose to break down their parents' relationship. Perfectly said. Beautifully said. You're the a-hole for how you're handling this. It'd be fine to go without the children, but the way you're handling it is incredibly petty. You're only pushing your kids away more. Exactly. You can't be too upset that they want to stay at their mom's more if this is how you act as a whole-ass adult. You're a grown man. Am I the a-hole? Neighbor doesn't want me to walk down the street she lives on because she's concerned about her neighbor's reactive pit bull. About 2 months ago, this neighbor, let's call her Joanne, left a letter in my mailbox requesting that I avoid walking down her street because her neighbor that owns a reactive pit bull goes crazy when I walk by with my 2 35-pound-ish dogs. My dogs are also not fans of other dogs. She explained that the dog belongs to a guy who lives there with another woman and he recently passed away, and the dog is confused and extra reactive. For a while, I would walk down the street and the dog was chained up in the front yard and would go crazy. So for my own safety, I would avoid walking down that particular street. A few months pass and I don't see the dog chained up outside anymore, so I start walking down that road. There's 2 loops in my neighborhood, and if I go the second one, it takes me twice as long. Yesterday, I'm walking down the road. Said pit bull is not outside, and she comes running out of the house yelling at me to stop walking down the street. I can imagine that. That's awesome. That the dog inside the house goes crazy and I need to turn around. I explained to her that I live in this neighborhood and I have the right to walk down a public road if I'm so inclined, and I'll do my best to avoid walking by if the dog is outside, but it's ridiculous to ask me not to come by here when the dog is inside the house. Am I the a-hole? Should I go out of my way to avoid an entire street when walking my dogs? You're not the a-hole. This one's too easy. You're not the a-hole. It's like public street property. It'd be different if you're letting your dog like poop on your lawn and didn't pick it up and stuff. It's not your fault other people can't control their dogs properly. Next time, tell her not to approach you because she's scaring your dogs. And let's see if she's fine being told where she can and cannot walk. Not the a-hole. That's pretty petty. You are walking on a public street. How their dogs react to anyone, human or other animal, being in public street is not your responsibility. Not the a-hole. It's too easy. It's too easy. Baby, come on. Where's the spicy? Spicy. Am I the a-hole for asking to babysit my sister-in-law's 31 female baby daughter overnight? Basically the title. I, 25 male, have a brother, 33 male, and sister-in-law, 31 female, who just had a baby girl about 2 months ago. They flew to our hometown to see my parents, the baby's grandparents, and I visit. I love kids. I'm actually a daycare teacher for 2-year-olds. I'm very excited to eventually have kids of my own one day. If it's useful context, I am trans-masked and I'm coming off testosterone soon to have a kid of my own. I'm quite family-oriented. I'll be honest, I don't know what trans-mask is. So you're coming off testosterone to preserve like your eggs and stuff? Or is it the other way around? No, I don't know. I'm sorry. My brother and sister-in-law have been looking really tired, and I asked if they wanted me to babysit their daughter overnight so they could get some rest. My sister-in-law and the baby do safe bed sharing, where they sleep on a mattress on the floor with no blankets. So my sister-in-law didn't bring a crib to visit. They just rearranged the bedroom when they got here. My sister-in-law asked where the baby would sleep, and I said I could rearrange my bedroom to have the same setup, and she started blowing up at me. Here's where I might be the a-hole. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, that doesn't seem like too big a deal. You're just offering something. Like, I feel like that's kind of and generally have a hard time staying in touch with people over the phone. I'm not super close to my sister-in-law to begin with. We have a cordial relationship when we see each other, but don't text or call often. I'm like that with everyone. And as a result, I didn't really check up on her pregnancy. When she blew up at me, she said, "I'm not an incubator making a doll for you to play with." Wow. You can't bed share with someone else's baby when you barely checked up on the mother. What's wrong with you? Again. Whoa. My brother ushered her out of the room and didn't say much the rest of the day. I haven't heard much of them since. I don't know, how I see it is if you're not close to the sister-in-law, and if you were talking to her when she was pregnant and you were in the same room with her and didn't text up with her, that's fine. You know, if you're not close, you're not close. But as long as you're being cordial and kind, I feel like that's not a big deal. I don't know. It's kind of weird to randomly blow up on somebody like that. I don't know. That's weird. And have you mentioned before, like, wanting to, like, take her kid or something? Because, like, why would she think, like, I'm not an incubator to make a doll? Like, what? Where is that even coming from? That's so weird. Someone said, "You're the a-hole. It does look like you want to play mommy with your nibbling. And it's bizarre that you apparently think it's NBD to bed share. Not a big deal. Not a big deal to bed share with a child of a woman you don't know well. I would have massive reservations about your judgment and would not let you unsupervised around my child." Okay, maybe I don't fully understand what bed sharing is. So you're gonna sleep in the bed with the baby. This is a baby. One of my really good friends has a 1-year-old baby. She's like 16, 17 months now. She is so protective of that baby. I couldn't imagine asking to sleep in the same bed as her child. Like, she's like one of my best friends. Okay, that's making a lot more sense. Sorry I'm being kind of stupid. What the frick? It's weird for someone to ask me to sleep with my child. People are saying the baby is 2 months old. I was thinking the baby was much older than this. So this mom is very newly postpartum. Am I the a-hole for not bringing my girlfriend anything while she's sick? So, baby, you sent this to me. Are you trying to say something here? Are you trying to say something? My girlfriend has been sick for the past 3 days. When she first told me, I asked if she needed anything, to which she only replied, "A stronger immune system." Ha ha. The next day, I checked and asked if she's been eating/drinking, which she says yes, she's been eating, drinking, and resting. Later in the day, I checked in again to see if she needs anything. I say, I have soup. She replied, she's okay for now. Today, I asked how she's feeling and I told her to get some rest, which she was receptive to, but later she tells me she's going to work. After work, she tells me it's hard. Okay, so this sentence, I'm going to read it for you, and then I want you in the comments to be annoyed with me, okay? After work, she tells it's hard for her to ask for things whole, sick, and small gesture like soup or tea would have meant a lot. What the freaking hell does that mean, okay? Bro. After work, she tells me it's hard for her to ask for things while sick, and small gestures like soup or tea would have meant a lot. She felt lonely she didn't get that. So she was basically sad that he didn't do things without her asking when she told him not to. I would have brought something, but she explicitly told me she was okay and didn't say anything when I asked. I figured I would allow her space to rest. Since she said she had food, I did not want to risk both of us getting sick. Am I the a-hole for not bringing anything? So, no, you're not the a-hole. You're definitely not the a-hole, especially if you are worried about getting sick. For the little comments I've been making, just so you know, I have a bunch of chronic illnesses. I was recently diagnosed with lupus. Living it up over here, guys. I feel so... But it's really hard being chronically sick. Being chronically sick is very different from being normal sick. So you're definitely not the a-hole, but I can play devil's advocate here and understand where she's coming from, because for me, when my husband offers me something, I have a really hard time taking it because I feel really guilty. And that's just kind of factors of how I grew up, is kind of why I respond like that. We've been together long enough, and of course we're married, and he knows me to the point where he knows I'm working on it. Even just something like today that we talked about. So I can understand why it might be hard for her to say yes to those things, and why she would need him to do it without her asking, or without him telling her. No, that's different. Honestly, because for me, it's I don't like having to ask. I don't like being like, hey, I want you to go get me a cheesecake on Wednesdays when the little bakery opens, and I want you to give it to me with flowers every week, please. But I know the second I ask for something, like, hey, babe, I want a sweet treat. I want a little treat from the little bakery down the street. What the frick, dude? That's brother. You guys see that? If you listen to me, I'll save you a lot of money on couples therapy in your future. Ooh, listen up, babe. Listen. You are not the a-hole. She didn't communicate to you what she wanted. She told you she was fine, and you took her for her word. But what she really wants, but didn't communicate, is to be seen. She doesn't want to have to ask you to bring her soup, but she wants you to see that she isn't feeling well and think about her and anticipate that soup might be helpful in bringing it to her. Not because she asked for it, but because you care. It might sound silly, and really, it's best for her to be more direct about expressing her feelings/wants. But wanting to be seen is tricky because part of its value is not having to ask. And maybe right now it's not a big deal. Like, it's just a virus. But it's a good thing to understand and practice, because a partner who's good at seeing notices their spouse's feelings and responds to them. And when/if babies get involved, seeing and anticipating your partner's needs is something I cannot overstate the value of. Many marriages fail because usually the guy doesn't see invisible labor their wife is carrying or hear when she asks for help. But no one complains about someone who really sees them. So, not the a-hole, but maybe some food for thought. A lot of you are really, really good at wanting to be there for your spouse or partner. However, a lot of you, probably all of you, are really, really not that great at seeing what's going on and acting. For example, I know families who will be going ready to go to the park, and the dad is sitting in the car waiting to be told what to do by the wife because he doesn't know what the kids need. Like, he helped pack the diaper bag. They're gonna go to the park and they're gonna have a picnic, and the wife comes in the car, hey, we need to pack chairs for us to sit on because we talked about chairs. And no, he didn't. Like, look around, notice, and I know it might be scary because you're gonna do it wrong sometimes, and act. If the dishes are dirty, that means they need to get cleaned. You don't need to ask her if they need to be done. They need to be done. If the floor is dirty, you don't need to ask her if they need to be done, they need to be done. Okay, if the bathrooms haven't been cleaned in a week, then you know they need to be done. You don't need to ask her. Okay? If you're hungry, she's probably hungry too. Go make some food. Okay? If she's sad, if she keeps telling you that she's sad, she's had a really hard day, that is code for get me flowers and chocolate, okay? It just is. And I think this is like a golden thing in marriage, is to be seen and understood. This comment wins the entire video. We have time for one more, so we're gonna finish this up with a little more fighting. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my 4-year-old daughter to join a soccer team simply because I don't want to get up early every Saturday? My husband says he thinks I'm being selfish, and I am. But I'm being strategic here. I'm a mom of 2, 4 and under. Currently 5 months pregnant. I'm a kindergarten teacher and I have narcolepsy. So needless to say, I'm tired all the time. Holy mother of pearl, you have a lot going on. Saturday is the one day in my week where there are no set plans, and I like it that way. Why do I need to ruin the one day I get to choose what I want to do, just so my 4-year-old who probably won't know what she's missing can go play a sport? She's probably not ready to play anyway. She has years to pick up a hobby / extracurricular. Add freaking commas, please. Point blank, I'm just tired and don't want to, so I can't even say it's not selfish, but we're allowed to be selfish on some things and I feel justified because I'm at my personal capacity. My husband won't even be able to help with every game because he sometimes works weekends. So no, I'm not interested in putting my kids in sports right now because I will likely flake on those days he works. Valid, she knows herself. Also, we live in a very hot state. I have zero interest in spending more time outside than I have to. My husband's reasoning is he wants her to be athletic and mostly that she will make friends and have fun socializing. I'd rather help her socialize through playdates, not weekly commitments to be on a team. My in-laws have made it clear they agree that it would be good for her, and I'm being unfair. My family thinks it's not important right now, at 4, but say she would have fun. So what do you think? Am I the a-hole? I think you need commas in your paragraph, but that's okay. It might just be my brain as well. I do think it would be good for her just because it gives her an activity and kind of kills some time because she's probably in preschool. She's not quite old enough to be in kindergarten. You make some really good points though, because being 5 months pregnant, you're halfway through your pregnancy, you have 2 kids, and you're a teacher. You're probably exhausted. Narcolepsy. You're not the a-hole. Girl, take a nap. Take a nap. Update. Oh, there's an update. My daughter has been enrolled in soccer. Believe it or not, I actually have a very supportive village, including my in-laws and husband. Oh, good, good. So they're not just pushing you to do it. They're like, we got you. We'll help you. Okay, that's good. That's good. Maybe I'm selfish, but it is because I know of if I burn out, I will not be a good mother, teacher, wife, or person. LOL. I mean, no one really is when they're burnt out, especially with narcolepsy. Everyone needs rest and time for themselves. If that makes me selfish, then oh well, I'm unshamedly selfish. Good for you! I love my children more than anything in the world. But I have needs too, and they need to understand others have needs too. It's a good thing to say no sometimes. Yes. I also clean house and Saturdays and know of if I get up and leave the house early. So she also cleans the house on Saturdays. And if she gets up early, she will never get things done at home because she'll find other things in town to do. Okay. My children need a clean home to live in more than extracurricular activities. However, I'm giving this a try and will continue letting her do soccer if she likes it and if it works for the whole family. You're a good mama. You're a good mama. So this must have been before the update. If the in-laws think soccer is so important, they can volunteer to drive her to and from games and practices. Problem solved, not you. Boom. People have it going. People have it going. I think you're a great mama. You're doing great here. I understand it's really difficult to be in the situation you are in, as much as I can, obviously, because I don't have any kids. But you make some really good points, and it's really awesome how self-aware you are. Not many people can say that about themselves. Oh my gosh. If you made it this far in the video, I hope you liked it. And babe, thank you for sending me some Reddit stories. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And apparently there's this like boost thing. Boost the video. Say hi. Lady, for the love. We hit 7,000 subscribers. I am so grateful for all of you guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for making my dreams come true here. And as always, before your next video, here's the puppy. Here's the little puppy. Say hi, lady. Good